Hello, everyone. This is Milagros Suriano-Rivera welcoming you to another creative conversation here at Musea Intentional Creativity Museum. We're streaming into the Red Thread Cafe classroom, as well as Musea's Intentional Creativity Facebook pages today. And oh, I'm just breathing this moment in because I'm really excited about our guest today. But just wanted to share with you that the creative conversations are actually part of our museum membership programming for Musea's Intentional Creativity Museum. And it is where we just bring to you topics that are emergent and exciting and share some of our guild member works and shares from our membership as well. And today's conversation topic is related to the theme of We Are All Related. I want to thank you for joining us and just invite you to grab your red thread if you have it. If you don't, just place your hand on your wrist or on your heart, since that is your first red thread connection. And if you have a cup of your favorite beverage, invite you to also have a journal in case the muse wants to harvest any of the little bits of beautiful fruits that we're going to be sharing with you today. So thank you for joining us. And with that, I want to remind us and share with you the legend. We have one of the red thread legends. The red thread is a practice that we use here in our intentional creativity community. And my favorite legend is the Chinese legend, and that says, we are each born with an invisible red thread, and we are always working towards each other. So I want to invite you to embrace and embody this feeling of connection and choose to be connected with us as we discuss this delicious topic of we are all related. And that is in honor of our art ancestor and elder, Carmen Baraka. This was her legacy and also what mattered most to her. And in Musea's intentional creativity community, we have been exploring this in community together through this year. Oh, so I am going to invite our guests, Chatel Jaram and Marnie Dangerfield, at this time. And I want to thank you both for saying yes to this invitation and being in exploration with us. And as you both know, here at Musea, we have been inviting our membership through the year to explore our overarching theme of We Are All Related. And within the theme, each month we brought a new topic. And since the beginning, we have discussed the topics of identity, creativity, ecology, spirituality, friendships, consciousness, activism, mystery, ceremony, community, and sensate. And this month, as a part of our closing and harvest for all that we've journeyed through together, we're going to be coming full circle and exploring the theme of We Are All Related. So thank you, Chatel Jaram and Marnie Dangerfield. And just to give you a little bit about these two, I'm excited because they have been they're just such a gift to our community. Marnie and Chatel are intentional creativity guides, coaches, practitioners. They're also guild members, co-curators for the Musea Intentional Creativity Museum. Um, oh wow, I can't even imagine. They've held me in so many ways, and I've grown so much through being in collaboration with these two beautiful beings, and the love that they hold and the presence that they hold when they create space for our community has been like no other experience. It's just a true demonstration of love. Love is always at the center of everything that they do. And I just love the chemistry that they have and what they've brought to our community. And it is in gratitude and in reciprocation that I extended the invitation for them to be with us. I want to also give a shout out to Sumaiyah Yates, who is holding us in the virtual realm and the Facebook chats, which Marnie usually does also hold a lot. So I know for Marnie, this is going to be a little bit different being on the other side. So we know that we're held. Thank you, Sumaiyah, for weaving our beloveds in during this broadcast. Oh, so how about we start with you? Would you mind just telling our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Milagros. And thank you so much for the invitation to be here. It's such a wonderful honor to be able to chat with you and to be with our community in the quantum and to share here. And so thank you so much for the invitation. So for myself, I'm Chatel. I am a membership coordinator at Musea, and I've studied intentional creativity since 2019 in a deep immersive way. And you can say I've maybe gone a bit too far, right? Like I just keep on going and going in it. But I just love it so much, and I learn and I'm surprised by it so much every day. And so it just gives so much, and I then use that to support other people through my wellness practice. And so I'm currently based in New Zealand. I'm a traveler and explorer, so I've lived in several places over the last few years, and currently I'm in New Zealand. So kia ora and hello, and I'm very pleased to be here.
Thank you so much for that share. So good to have the opportunity to get to know our members, and our leaders in our community a little bit better and more intimately, because we do spend a lot of time together, but we don't always get a chance to really get to know each other. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. And Marnie, tell us a little bit about you.
Hello. So grateful to be here with you all today and feeling held by Sumaiyah too. Thank you, Sumaiyah. So a bit about me. I've been fortunate and I feel so grateful to have been on this journey with Chatel since 2019, similar paths, and though of course uniquely our own, and also as a guild member, proud guild member, and grateful for our intentional creativity practices, our community connection, this, as Chatel said, this quantum connection that we're able to build and connect with along this loving red thread just means the world to me. I'm located on the west coast of Canada, Victoria, British Columbia, on the lands of the Lekwungen and Wessanich people. And just so grateful to be having this chance to reflect on this, both for ourselves and also for the community, those watching and those in the membership, just what may be arising for them as well as we discuss and afterwards.
Thank you so much. Oh, so I want to bring presence to the fact that I just love the chemistry between the two of you. Like, you have such a way, as I stated before, of holding our community. And it's been such an inspiration to witness, and actually gives me courage to show up here. So, and I know that we're weaving together and we hold the community in a common way through a common thread, but in different ways. So it's just really awesome. And I'm grateful for all the chances that I've gotten to collaborate with you as, co-hosting or being a guest for our community's artist circles, which we hold monthly for our community. And I just want to say thank you, because you just, again, it's just pure love that you demonstrate. And I know that our community members feel that so much. And I hope that those viewing today also feel, and I know they will. You can't help but love these two ladies. So now that we know who you are, and now that we know what you do, I want us to step into the topic of we are all related as we embrace and connect together today. And I also want to know, before becoming membership coordinators for Musea, how did you two actually cultivate this connection and relatedness? Like, how did you come to work together? So, Chatel, you want to share?
Yeah, I would love to share. Yeah, so Marnie and I met by being in the motherboard cohort in 2019. So this was the first time motherboard was offered. We were both in the cohort, and that's where we met. And I can also I just want to share, like, in one of the calls when we were all called in circle to share something. And I remember when Marnie was sharing, I was listening to her share, and I was looking at her and I was thinking, I want to be friends with her. Sometimes you get that feeling, right? Like, you don't know someone that well, but you feel like, oh, yeah, I'd like to be friends. and so I remember that moment. And then as the training was coming to a close, Marnie was actually the organizer of what we called Heart Minds, which was a beautiful, intimate group of us that would get together once the training course had ended, and we were sharing about the materials and the practices and how we were applying them and our lives and our businesses and all of that. So through that, Marnie and I got to know each other. And Shiloh at that time, the wonderful Shiloh Sophia, of course, our founder of Intentional Creativity, she was at that time looking for people or a person to be a membership coordinator and to support the members. And so I was interested in that role. Marnie was interested in that role. And I asked her if she'd be willing to collaborate, because I thought it's just going to be so much more fun if we can do this together, rather than I didn't really want to do that role on my own. I thought it would just be so much fun to work with someone else and do a shared role. And so that's how we came to be. That's how we met, and then came to be doing this role together.
I love that. I love that, that you invited her. And it's funny because when you came on board, about the same time that I started my role as well, and I know that was something that was thrown out there, and I'm so glad they picked you too. I am so glad they picked you too. I couldn't think of anyone else to hold our community the way that you do. So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And to watch you both grow into it has just been amazing, amazing, amazing. I mean, I love our job, don't you?
Right? How good is it to wake up and go, look, we're going to be in circle today with our community, and we're going to create together, and this amazing wisdom comes out shared from everyone. And yeah, it's so beautiful.
It is. And it resonates so much with me because, as you know, there's like they our community holds Sumaiyah Yates and I in the same sort of thing, like, oh, those two, like the chemistry, and it's really great. It's just beautiful that we create these spaces for our members to actually connect with each other, find our common threads, and weave them in whatever way feels right to us, in service to whatever it is that matters in our hearts, and choosing to cultivate and curate and nurture those connections. And that's what we do, and you two do it so well.
Thank you. So well. And I think it's also so wonderful that we get to do that. Like, Marnie and I haven't met in person, right? And yet we have cultivated this relationship and do this role together and bring the circles together, and also with connecting with our community through what we call the quantum, but by being able to do all this online and meet each other across the world is phenomenal.
And it's just gratitude to technology, because the world seems so much smaller, and I know that during the especially during the COVIDian era, it just opened us up, but and how we've actually managed to use it as the powerful tool that it is, and also because of our practice of actually choosing to be related to everything, and we do a lot of our work in the quantum space of the field, and we choose to really feel that connection. For two people to never have met each other and to do what you do as if in real space, which we are in real space. This screen is our altar. This is our container. It is as real as if you were sitting right next to me. And this is the power of choosing to be in connectedness, because it actually breaks that barrier of what we perceive to be a barrier, So the screen is not between us, it's actually bringing us together.
Yes.
So it's just like really, really amazing how we can send that love and really bring it together in this quantum, space and transmute it to everyone who chooses to be in circle with us. And even those who are not, who are watching later, just you're included in this. And when you watch it, just know that you are with us in real time, whatever time you watch this. And, we just finished our Vivid 2022, retreat, and I'm still watching the videos, and it's as if I'm still in Musea dancing. And I was literally in tears this morning. And that's because I know the love is real. I know that the connection is real. And it's like you go through this space and you're actually there, And it's like that as we explore all the relationships in our lives and all of the aspects of our lives. And that's why this conversation that we're having today is just like really so rich, so rich. So I want to bring us to how has holding community and the legacy of our beloved elder Carmen Baraka impacted you? Like, this has been really sacred work. So how has it impacted, either of you? Well,
it's hard to put into words. I'll be honest. I know we were trying to do this yesterday a bit, but it's still there. But in so many ways, on so many levels. I mean, personally, obviously, just exploring these relations and the overarching theme of we are all related, and then with each specific one. Each month, certain ones maybe I hadn't thought of before, and some that maybe felt, oh, am I comfortable with that? How are we sitting with this? And then also feeling into the community and our membership and those who are on the choosing, you're talking about the choice and the loving connection, and how each month we were getting to gather in circle, whether those were live or they're watching the replay, to hold each other, really. To follow the path of the red thread and choose to belong and choose to explore and share and wisdom collectively. So there's been this really intentional, loving holding of the space, which means so much. I know Chatel and I do not take for granted, and we are very intentional in how we create the space and the prep for it. But we're also on our own path and where we are with these, and holding Carmen Baraka and her teachings and her presence, and then weaving that with our community and learning and exploring and collaborating. It's really a collaboration, get in these circles, and it's the love is there. It's just, you feel it, even though we're not in the same space, and it's in the quantum. So.
Oh yeah, the love is definitely there, and I know for Chatel, you expressed a similar way, like the embodiment of not finding the words,
Yeah, it's challenging. I think. I found it challenging to put words to how it feels, and to the impact of exploring together throughout the year all these different themes, and that overarching beautiful theme of we are all related. And so what I would do, and what I do now, is I bring it back into my body. Like, how am I somatically feeling? What am I feeling as I consider we are all related? What does my body's wisdom tell me and message to me when I consider that and be with that statement? And that's one of the ways that I've found to feel into it, and to feel that it's real, and there's something tangible happening here. And as we connect on it, and as we explore and look at inquiries and draw together on it, and then later share in the Musea app group as well, seeing what other people came up with and what showed up for them. I was always bringing it back to, all right, what do I feel as I see that beautiful image, as I read that person's words? And that's actually been very special, to bring that sensing, that way of sensing, in this year for me personally, and to recognize that it's not always about verbally describing something, right? There's so many ways that we sense and share information.
Yeah, that's true. Bringing that one of the themes that we explored was sensei. So I love how you shared that. Um, and also sometimes we do get into into the ritual of feeling like we need to respond to things,
Mhm.
especially in the digital world and the world of social media and different platforms and everything. And I know that one of the things that we also learn to practice, and been invited to by some of our members, is something called like the silent witness. Sometimes words are not necessary. It's just being in the body with what you're feeling and how their share impacted you, and still just being able to send out the love and compassion. Because sometimes we do share and it's not a matter of needing any response. They're
Mhm.
just reporting, this is where I'm at. And sometimes we can reciprocate in that way by just being silent, because sometimes words are not necessary. So that theme of sensate has been really powerful as well. And I loved how you have
Mhm.
embodied it and explored it and brought it into your way of being, regarding your relationship with your body. So that's really cool. Yeah, because I tend to feel a lot. A lot of you already know. It's like, oh, you feel my energy is like, so it's like I'm learning to ground myself before I get in front of my laptop, and shifting my mindset to, I'm energy. The energy is coming in from the earth. The earth is holding me,
Mhm.
and as I touch, my keyboard, I'm actually one with the earth and the universe. So that's sort of like, calms me down. But I'm also learning that as I feel it, like just before we started, I had that aha moment of, this is what love feels like, that anxious nervousness. It's
Mhm.
not a bad thing. It's because we really
Yeah.
love what we're doing, and that tightness in my chest, and that wanting to take that deep breath and settle my body. But maybe I don't need to settle my body. Maybe I need to be with what I'm feeling, this love,
Mhm.
and sensing everything and being in relationship with what I'm feeling, so thank you so much for that wisdom. like like
Mm.
yeah, because I sometimes kick myself, and the critic comes into my ear like, why are you feeling that way? You've been doing this before. Like, yeah, but
Right.
it still feels like it's the first time I've done it. But it's because
Yes.
and
Yeah.
now I realize it's because I'm feeling love. It's like a lot of times we get
Yeah.
emotional, we cry.
Mm.
Feel the tears. The tears are there. The tears of joy, of cleansing, of healing, of whatever you're wanting to express,
Mm.
but be with it, and sometimes we force ourselves not to, and we cheat ourselves out of this beautiful experience and connectedness with our bodies.
Mm. Yeah, and I really like how you stated that of maybe this is a feeling of love, right? To feel nervous and to feel anticipation and to feel edgy, or things that are often uncomfortable in some way.
You feeling itchy, Marnie?
Well, I was reflecting too. It's that caring piece, and I know you mentioned before. I can be a little as well. I get my energy gets up when I get excited, and it's just that energy of care and love, and that's a part of it, and allowing it to flow through. Um,
And I love the way it flows from you. It just, like, no matter how I'm feeling and what call I'm on, I notice I connect with you a lot with that energy, because I realize I've learned that that is who you are. And it's because you just have so much love that it just makes you pop. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there Marnie goes. It's like, I can't help but smile. Like, I love it. So thank you so much. And I know that a lot of our members feel that way. It's just,
Mhm.
and it's, and we sometimes look at things and we see them in one way, and we have certain biases. And then we sit back and look, it's like, oh, there's something more happening here.
Yeah.
There's something more happening here, and I love that I've allowed myself to witness you in that way, um because it's taught me a lot. It's taught me to actually feel much more comfortable with my jittery anxiety or awkwardness. I'm like, hey, this is who I am. So I love
Mhm.
it. I love it. Oh gosh, so which of the themes that we've gone over in the last 11 months, um have have you found most challenging to engage or cultivate a relationship with?
Well, I have more than one. challenging.
I know we all do.
The themes were deep. The themes were deep. And I think for me, spirituality, mystery, and also ceremony. Spirituality and mystery more so, I think. They were two themes I found really challenging at first. Marnie and I were like, what do we do with this? How do we bring this topic to people? How do we bring it in an appropriate way? What is it? How do you even begin to explore something like spirituality with a 20-minute creative process? And so, of course, we called in Milagros. So we're like, well, it's red thread, right? We call in support. If it's okay, if we don't know, we got to lean on each other and call in, so some more wisdom and amplify what we can do. And so, of course, we're very grateful, Milagros, that you joined us for some of the circles this year. And that we were able to explore them together and share genuinely with the community when we would say, hey, this is a big topic.
Yeah.
We don't have the answers of what it's
about. And it's so true, because when you invited me, I was looking at it because you're like, oh, hey, Milagros, do you think you want to be our guest teacher for? And I looked at the topic and I could feel my body immediately contract. Like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't know anything about spirituality. But then when I spoke to you as we worked on the agenda, and we're like, because I was assuming you knew. So I'm like, what? I don't have a nickel in that quarter. But then when I realized that we were all in the same place of unknowing, it actually made me more willing to explore it, because I didn't have to explore it by myself. Yeah. And it was just really, really powerful for me to be in that uncertainty and embrace the not knowing. And it's okay. You don't have to know it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that's what helped me as well, was knowing, oh, I can start to explore this, and it can be a journey that goes on, maybe for the rest of my life. I don't know, but I don't need to figure it out today.
Right.
And that's where we also, with those topics, it was a really big teaching I found for me to lean on the creative process as well. Like for the invitation of let's create about this. Let's put in some inquiries and do some journaling around it. Let's do some painting and make some marks on paper. What comes out for us individually when we allow ourselves to reflect on this topic?
Yeah, the processes have been really great. The ones that you two have put together, and the way you feed off each other, like you finish each other's sentences and thoughts, and it's just such a beautiful, just another example of the infinity mind model that we practice here. You both hold aside and you meet in the middle, and it's just pure, just a beautiful teaching that is comes through. But this, again, just being in choosing to be in that connectedness, in that relation with the topic, from pure heart, and trusting each other. So that's I can feel that there's just so much trust there. So I think it's because what you do in 20 minutes is amazing to me. Like, and it relates, I can relate to it, because I've been holding the community in a similar way with the same themes, but I'm doing it as art actions.
Yeah.
So, and I'm usually out here by myself, trying to find ideas that I can create some type of process that sometimes takes me an hour, but I'm learning that instead of fighting that fact that it takes me so long to come up with it, that actually once I get it, just to create some type of 4 to 6 minute process that someone could follow a video on to get to the same place. I'm feeling better about it, because I know that I took the time to create this thing that has to be converted for time's sake. And also, even in creating that small span, it's also in holding the presence of nurturing our members, because we don't want to give them anything that's going to overwhelm.
Yes.
Because we know that IC works so quickly. It doesn't take a lot, but I do this process and doing it, and the longer I take, I've stopped feeling uncomfortable about how long does it take. I focused on, it took me this long because I was really immersed in love as I created it. And because I'm also doing the work for myself.
Right.
And then basically the editing and what the members see is, you know, all they need to get. And it's just so rich, you know, so I understand that, you know, the chemistry and how you two put it together and the time it takes for you to collaborate with each other, just to come up with something that takes 20 minutes to just have someone tap into that teaching, that feeling, and know that they're leaving with so much more.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's what you're describing, Milagros, with how you come up with those art actions and taking the time. It's a wonderful example of curation, right? Like curating the process with love and care and beauty and bringing in all those beautiful factors and then creating something that people can access and, like you say, not feel overwhelmed and hopefully feel nurtured by and nourished by and inspired.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Marnie, you're not off the hook.
Well, similarly to Chatel share, spirituality and mystery were, I would say, the top two. And as we shared, we reached out to you, and that's the beauty of our community. It's like, oh, you know, we know we're not alone, and we know we have support. And Milagros, you were just so amazing to assist us, and then how you hold us in the app with the inquiries as well, and the care you put into those. But as you were sharing, what I was really feeling coming through was this sense of going back to also to what we've learned through this. So the harvesting of this, what's coming through really is that, I mean, one of the main things that drew me to intentional creativity is that it is a journey. Yes, you're in community, but it's your own journey. And so there's these curated spaces, you know, Shiloh teaches and shares, and there's processes, and we're doing our thing. And really, it's about holding space for someone to explore themselves. It's not about us coming in as experts on spirituality or mystery. It's that we're on the journey too. We're all in this together. We're all related, and that we are exploring this together in this way. And just how powerful that's been this year to do that and be able to pull even that ego out of it a bit more and be like, it's about us more than as well as our own personal journey. Don't get me wrong, it is, but it's about, you know, the members who are joining, or the people in the app we're all exploring this together, and that the feeling of that ripple effect, that there are people, these wonderful beings, choosing to explore these topics for themselves and what is true and real for them in a way that's good and healthy for them. That just feels like a warm hug. Sorry.
Yeah, no. And I love what you said about ego. That was something that when I started doing these creative conversations, it was hard, you know, because I was I was in my mind, you know, you're a host, you need to know how to do this. And, you know, we have certain formats and things that we're doing, and, you know, wanting to represent, you know, our organization with love and our members and everything. But it wasn't until I started realizing it's not about me being the host. It's about me being part of the story that's being told. It's about the story that wants to be shared, you know? So once I let go of that and I learned how to connect with, you know, the previous members and guests that we've had on, it was about, what is the story you want to tell? You know, and once I stepped into that, it was just about me holding the thread and the container and letting everything else happen as it needed to happen. And that made it easier for me as well, to hold space for our community in this way, you know, because I was able to get the ego out of the way, because I just had, in the newness of it all, I'm like, you know, of course, and it's natural. You're given a responsibility, you know, and that's also one of the legends of the Red Thread is, you know, we all have our own, you know, piece to carry. But I love being able to carry the piece of holding community and sharing it with you two. So the way you do, and being connected and having these explorations and honoring, you know, our ancestors, in such a way, and to know. And I mean, part of my creative journey basically has been always the big question, my big whys, like, what am I here to do? And intentional creativity has been that answer for me. And even as I started my journey, it may have looked one way, but here we are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And this year's exploration has definitely been a way to deepen that, like, you know, your why and who you are and your how do you want to be in the world, and embracing our power to choose, because that is where it starts, right?
Yeah.
Choosing to be in relation.
Yes.
Choosing to be in relation, and no one can choose for you but you. And that's what you two holding our community have done. You've given our members that choice and the tools to take it to where they want it to go. Which is really, really awesome. With no ego whatsoever.
Hopefully not. Might creep in there sometimes.
Yes, we can. We're all human beings.
Yes, we are. We are human, having a human experience sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
So which were the easiest ones for you to hold?
I know I can say for me, the creativity, ecology, those really came through, as well as sensate. I mean, a big part to the journey, as we mentioned before, we've been on since 2019 with intentional creativity, but also I feel this deep connection with nature. We are nature, in my humble opinion, but we all have our own opinions on that. But we are really interconnected and related to nature. We breathe because of nature, we eat because of nature, etc. So bringing in those, getting to go deeper with those, and exploring community, and seeing the shares in both in our circles and in the app of other journeys that people are on with those too, was really heartening to witness. And so those, and the sensate, you know, with Prisma this year and Prisma Practitioner, with our coherence meditation and our regular practice, that connecting in the whole system and the body, and really checking in with the body of what's feeling, what's happening right now. That's been a joy to practice with, and more easeful than, say, mystery and spirituality per se.
That's really wonderful. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love the way you say that. We breathe because of nature. We eat because of nature, being connected with nature. You know, I noticed in my connection with nature, I've been at least a little bit more aware. I've been having a lot of butterfly episodes. So they've been very, very prevalent over the last few months. So there's a lot there. Chatel, which was yours?
Well, my standout ones that felt very easy and appealing to practice were two. They were friendship and activism. And friendship, I just value so highly in my life, and I've chosen that as a type of topic that I would continue exploring. You know, like how am I a good friend or a loving friend, and what, you know, how is friendship cultivated and nurtured? How do we nourish those types of relationships? And also being friends and being related not only to other people or animals, but also to plants and the earth, and, you know, all the elements present, and how that all connects in, and then cultivating that sense of friendship and friendliness with, you know, everything that is growing and living on this planet. And so that's been a wonderful topic. And also activism appeals to me a lot. And with the activism, I actually found that what I've done this year is brought the activism into my personal practice of being out in nature and connecting. I connect with the earth every day. We have a back garden here at our house that I go out barefoot, whatever the weather, every day, at least for a few minutes, longer if I can. And then on the weekends, my husband and I, we go out. We're very fortunate to be able to drive about 30 minutes and get to the West Auckland coastline, which has all these beautiful beaches. Some of them are black sand beaches. They're very wild, a lot of surf beaches. And a lot of them also have trees growing along the coastline that are really beautiful too. And we've been spending time there, no matter the season, either walking or laying on the ground and just allowing this connection to be and be present with connecting with the earth and the soil and the trees and the water and being present with that. And I have felt like that was my own kind of version of activism that I'm cultivating at the moment, is this relationship with the earth and what is happening there and what is the conversation between me and the earth, between me and the trees around me, and what is present, what can I feel there, how does my body respond to being in these places. So that's been really special this year, to bring in those two topics in a very lived way and practicing them regularly.
Yeah. And it's funny because once we plant the seed, it's like I noticed that like my outlook on real Christmas trees has changed. I'm like,
Right.
Why? But it never bothered me one or the other. I mean, I've never been partial to them. I think I've only had one real Christmas tree in my life. However, being in this community has, I see it differently. I'm like, if I had the choice, I know that I would not choose to get a real tree.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and as it is, once you become aware of it and you learn how to be in relationship with this, you start seeing things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And it's just like really, really awesome. And activism, for me has been something that I think it's been easier for me. It was a little awkward, but I found a new definition. And that's why when we were exploring it, what came up for me is, activism starts with you. And for me, and being an activist for my own creative expression is the best way that I can serve anyone. And then once you find that connection and you stand for yourself, then you have the courage to find out another way that you can stand with others or for others.
Yeah.
Because everyone's activism looks different. And even if you can't stand for what they stand for in that sense, where it's not what your thread is, that doesn't mean you can't collaborate, support, and stand with them.
Yes.
Out of compassion or just understanding.
Yeah.
And again, that bridges into the relatedness, how are we all related, and that's a really great way that this exploration over the year has definitely shifted and changed all of us. I'm sure. And our harvest, just has been so plentiful, and it just keeps giving. What would you want to share? Was one of the most powerful gifts that you've harvested from your journey that you'd like to share with our viewers today?
I know for me, Chatel's pausing to let me go here, is that what really came through is how real the loving connection is. It's that really all year long, experience it time and time again, and connecting with such beautiful beings willing to step in and explore together. And just, we can think things and talk about but to actually feel it and experience it, even though it's it's been all quantum, it's just felt so real. And then each time we'd connect in circle, or when we're see people shares in the app, you can feel the love. So there's just this we are all related theme encircled with this loving connection is my deepest.
Thank you so much. Oh, witnessing you. Chatel, what have you harvested? the best gift for you?
Yeah, such a beautiful question, and actually related to what Marnie shared. And for me, the gift is the red thread teachings of we are all related and connected together. And as we've been talking here today, I keep on seeing the visual of actually all the strands of the red thread weaving together, right? And so there's this beautiful tapestry also that seems to have come into existence or seems to have grown further with this year's explorations and with all our creative processes and the wisdom that has been accessed. It really feels like energetically there's a tapestry that has been created and added to through all of us sharing together what we have found out, what we're working on, what we're where we're stuck, what we're questioning. And so that was really a powerful gift to more deeply immerse into this the symbolism of the red thread and connecting together and what it means to be in community and being community together, live it like in a sense, living together, right? Like living our lives together in this community.
Yes, definitely. Because I never feel alone anymore. I know that I am always held.
Mm-hmm.
And I never felt that before, even though I know that I've been blessed with plenty of relationships and always been surrounded by powerful women. Specifically speaking of women and my relationships with women, but I never felt the connectedness. And it's only here that I've actually learned to nurture that and appreciate those connections.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when I walk down the street, walking my dog, I choose to be connected with earth. I'm aware of where my feet are planted. I pay attention to the trees. I look up at the sky and notice the birds flying. I actually find myself sending out my energy to the squirrels and the butterflies, and just in practice, just knowing that even if I don't understand their response, they feel my energy.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the gift that I'm harvesting is relevance.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that what I'm doing is making an impact, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like. I'm blessed with knowing that I've impacted so many of the members in our community by saying yes to taking this journey with you and everyone else. Growing with them, like you said, we're doing the work for ourselves as we guide and we teach and offer. And it feels really, really good, and it feels really, really, really good. So I'm grateful for that gift.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And I just quickly, I know we're
Yes,
coming to a
no,
close, but
we're
just
good.
wanted to add it because I really appreciate both your shares and how Chatel brought in that weaving image. And, we're very clear in every artist circle that they are a co-creation because they really are. And that is the other part that was really embodied and made real this year is we're there, but it doesn't happen without our members and our members of our community showing up and being a part of it and or watching the replay and such. So just the strength of that weave is people choosing to be a part of it as well. So just wanted to send, and this loving support of, I have to give this to Sumaiyah, who always holds our space, and the Weaver and you Milagros collaborating with us. But there's so many, it's our community as a whole that's a part of this, and just wanted to.
Yes, no, thank you so much for bringing presence to that, Marnie. I appreciate you both so much and for how you hold me in the light that you hold me in the love that you hold me in. And also, yes, shout out to Sumaiyah. She's weaving literally and virtually, and for how she holds as well and how we all show up for our community and for each other, and continually inviting everyone to choose to be in relationship with everything around you, everything within you, because we are a part of everything. Nothing that you see or feel is is not part of you and makes you up and the experience of you. Because that's what I feel that we are, especially when we walk in this way. We are a living experience, you know, and it's just a beautiful way to be, ain't it?
Isn't it though? So good, right?
I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know, so when people say, how you doing? I'm living my best life.
Right. Yeah, it's happening now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for the day that it's going to start. It's
Exactly.
now.
It's now.
Yeah.
It is so now. Oh, so I just have I want to first thank both of you again for joining me today and sharing your journeys with our viewers and our community. And I'd like to just share a few bits of information. So our next Intentional Creativity Foundation offering is one of our other favorite member benefits, and it is our Pop Open Studio. And the next one is November 25th, and it's from 2 to 5 p.m. PT, 3 hours, and it is a monthly member benefit. And it will be hosted by myself and Sumaiyah Yates, who will be DJing for us to bring in that somatic movement. And so it's just a way for us to nurture ourselves, connect, and finish those projects that we have that are calling for our attention and love. And the creative conversations, as you know, is another member benefit that, you know, we share with our members, and is to keep you posted on what's going on with the museum and bring these conversations to you. So we look forward to our next one, which we will announce soon. And what else do we have? Yes. If you want to become a member, I want to invite you to membership. And the membership also starts at $10. Membership starts, and you get so many benefits. Like, it just pays for itself. Also, if you're a Black, Indigenous, woman of color, if you identify as such, there's also an opportunity to join a separate circle, which is called our Echoes of the Well, Sacred Echoes of the Well. And it is a circle for women of color. And you have the option of applying to join that circle too. And also, because we're nearing the Thanksgiving season, and in honor of us being in this energy of harvest and gratitude, for our US members or anyone listening, I want to invite us to maybe take the Good Relations Pledge, and that is to be in support of and also in honor of our elder Carmen Baraka and our Indigenous sisters and brothers, as an action towards this choosing to be in relationship and to be related, because we all are. And I know this was important to her as an Indigenous woman. So I want to just definitely share that that link with you, that information and invitation to take the pledge if you're in the U.S. And just keep, you know, you listen to this, you can listen to this again, share in Facebook groups what came up for you. An invitation to carry this into the new year as well. Just keep harvesting. You know, there's so much. There's enough for everyone. And I know that, you know, if you just got one little thing that you want to harvest from this conversation, please share it with us, because we do want to know. We do want to witness you. And it matters to us, as you all do. Oh, thank you again. Thank you again for joining us, for viewing us, for witnessing us, and for choosing to say yes, Marnie and Chatel. So with that, we will just invite you to stay connected. We love you, and thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.